science, can't we?
Be what? Be real?
Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that asks the question,
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
These questions of casting doubt on all of our knowledge was the first step in tearing down our knowledge, reducing it to its foundations, and then building it back up again. René Descartes, he was one of the great Renaissance geniuses.
Descartes was amazing. He was a great scientist and a tremendously imaginative and resourceful scientist. I think no scientist has ever been more ambitious. He thought he had a theory of everything.
You know, he saw himself ultimately as a natural scientist, and philosophy for him was just part of his program. He wanted to get everything down to its foundations.
When he performed that methodical doubt, the one thing he thought he could not doubt was,
Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am.
that is, I as a thinker am, as a res cogitans, a thinking thing.
His basic idea that we only have access to the content of our own minds gives us this thing called the problem of the external world.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
Here that the life of the people within the Matrix is quite agreeable, it's quite happy, it's quite pleasant.
I know this state doesn't exist. You know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
It's just that all their beliefs are false. So they're happy, though they don't know anything.
He's making a deal to be plugged in a paradisial setting. And that is a metaphor of what it is that keeps us asleep. We want illusory safety, being asleep when we think we're awake. We want to be numb.
This relates to a very famous thought experiment in philosophy. The philosopher Robert Nozick imagined a thing called the experience machine.
Nozick says, imagine that you have this machine that's a kind of perfect simulation machine that can give you any experience you desire, no strings attached. Plug in, live out a fantasy life, and then not even ever know that you plugged in.
I can't go back, can I?
No. But if you could, would you really want to?
Nozick says, well, most people wouldn't plug in because you don't just care about pleasure. You care about being in touch with reality in a kind of basic, primitive, logically primitive way. I mean, this is just one of our fundamental concerns, that not just that we live a happy life, but that we live a real life, that we be in touch with the truth.